Hello there, this is RomWills coming back at you with yet another video. Once again, it is Sovereign Saturday. Be disciplined on your path. Now this is very important because you could want to be a sovereign man. Shoot, you can want to be anything in life. You don't even have to use that term. Whatever you want to do, you might just want to be that person who just want to become a millionaire. Okay, fine. Are you disciplined? That's the most important thing because you got to stay with it. Discipline is really just doing what you have to do every day or at a certain time, preferably every day, but at a certain time, and sticking with it no matter what's happening, sticking with it no matter what the situation is, because there's going to be some times you don't feel like it. Look, I'm gonna just be real with y'all. There's some times I don't feel like doing these videos. There's some times I don't feel like doing the things I have to do. There's some times I don't feel like going to the gym. Discipline means you stay with it. That's all discipline means. Sometimes at the gym, sometimes I don't feel like doing everything I have to do. I still do it. There's sometimes I really don't feel like doing a car video, but I still do it. And definitely, trust me, because shoot, I still had to do this video. I had to do a little bit of plumbing work this morning. A little bit, just a little bit. I had to clear a clog. That put me back maybe a half an hour, but I still had maintained the discipline to do this. Discipline, if you have it in your mind, your mindset, that you want to be a sovereign man, you want to control what you can control, and at the minimum have leverage in the things you can't outright control. Hey, you got to work at it. You got to work at it. You have to be disciplined. I mean, you might have to deal with some substances that you putting in your body. Like say you using drugs or alcohol, you smoking. That has control over you. You're going to have to be disciplined to break that. Because trust me, you ain't not going to be sovereign if you have outside substances controlling you. You might have to eat certain foods. And shoot, that's even if you engaged in body game. You might have to do certain things. You have to stay disciplined. On your path to becoming a sovereign man, or for the few ladies that watch these videos, a sovereign woman, or if you don't like those pronouns, a sovereign person, you got to be disciplined. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. It's no ifs, ands, and buts. You have to stay with it. It's just like, okay, I have music playing in the background. One thing I found with the top musicians, they are staying disciplined. Like I'll use the example of this piano player. I remember me and this young lady I always talk about 1,000 jobs. I've probably been on 1,000 dates, but me and this young lady, we went to see this guy at a piano recital. And I'll never forget what he said. And he was a big muscular dude, you could tell. And he was great, but he said, look, he would be hours playing that piano. That was his craft, that was his gift. He had to stay with it. People know that I'm a writer. I have 9 books on the market. One of the things I had to do was stay disciplined in writing those books. I remember one of my books, starting from zero. I remember I wrote a whole lot of it during a major snowstorm. I was basically stuck. I'd never forget, I was stuck over my grandmother's house. May she rest in peace. And it took everything to get over there, but that's where the computer was at the time. This was back in the day. That's where the computer was. It wasn't like you could carry it around or something like that. I had to do it. You got to stay disciplined. You have to stay disciplined. It might be cleaning, keeping your place clean. You got to do it at certain times. You have to be disciplined. When I had my medical emergency, when I had my stroke, and when I was in a therapy center, after a certain time, I had to go around on a walker. I had to stay disciplined with that. I didn't just say, oh, I'm just going to sit there today. I said, no, I'm going to walk again. Every single day that I could move around on that walker, I did so. Even before that, stayed disciplined. Even when I was in that wheelchair, I wouldn't even use my arms. I was just disciplined, just using my legs as much as possible, moving around with it. That's why I was able to really do a lot of stuff. And the nurses saw that. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is in life. You have to be disciplined. If you're talking about being a sovereign man, if you're talking about having that control, oh, you can't just say, well, I'm gonna do it Monday. Oh, okay, well, yeah, do my thing. All right, I'm gonna do it not the coming Friday, but the Friday after next. Not every now and then. Not when you thinking, oh, well, I don't have anything to do today. Let me work on this. No, it don't work that way. Once you decide that you're going to be a sovereign man, you have to do the stuff. You might have to get your credit together. You got to be disciplined in how you spend. In fact, I talk about that on my money channel. I've talked about that on my money channel. You got to be disciplined in how you spend. You might have to get that credit together. You might have to get your spending together. Oh, when you in that grocery store, you can't be buying that candy. You can't be spending that money. You got to do what you got to do. You gotta spend that money good. You gotta be disciplined with it. Shoot, if you're trying to lose weight, hey, you might not be able to eat that extra ice cream. I remember this minister, he was saying that. He said he loved a certain type of ice cream. He'd get a spoon of it, then put it away. He had to be disciplined. He had to be disciplined. You gotta be disciplined on your path. You gotta stick with it no matter what. No matter what. And I'm going to tell you what, once you become disciplined, it becomes easy. After a while, it becomes second nature to you. In fact, I would say this, be disciplined for 21 days, at least 21 days. Now, for whatever reason, it might not can be every day. I can understand that. Everybody has different stuff. But if you say, I'm going to do some work on it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, stick with it. Stick with it. Just stick with it. And I'm going to tell you what, after a few months, you're just like, it'll be second nature to you. It'll be second nature. But this is what you have to do. And everybody, I ain't going to say what you have to do. Every single man has a different path. In fact, that's something I'll talk about next week. Every single man has a different path. You can't follow that other man. But I'll talk about that next week. But whatever the case, whatever your path is, you have to stick with it, okay? Anyway, that's all I have for today. Keep rising to become the sovereign man or sovereign woman or sovereign person that you are meant to be. Peace and blessings.